Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I'm Sarah Mitchell, a security expert, and I'm joined today by David Chen, our resident AI specialist. Today, we're unpacking a massive, largely invisible shift in supply chain crime. We are talking about highly organized, incredibly sophisticated digital cartels, and they are specifically targeting the physical infrastructure of the AI boom. It's awesome to be here, Sarah, and honestly, the sheer scale of this threat, it's just mind-blowing. We aren't just talking about stolen consumer electronics or sneakers anymore. We're looking at a highly coordinated attack on the actual physical components required to build our entire AI future. So let's just get right into it.
Absolutely. And to really grasp the gravity of this situation, you just have to consider this one number, $35 billion. That's billion with a B. That is the estimated annual cost of cargo theft to the supply chain right now. And the absolute most crucial thing to understand today is that this is no longer just a random crime of opportunity. We literally have to erase that old mental image of some guy with bolt cutters sneaking around a dark truck stop. What we're dealing with today is a $35 billion corporate identity fraud crisis.
Exactly, Sarah. It's a whole new ballgame. And it's frankly terrifying how fast this threat is mutating. Get this. We've seen an explosive 1,500% spike in what the industry calls strategic theft just since 2021. And this surge, it is directly driven by the intense, completely unquenchable demand for AI hardware. These criminals are smart. They know exactly what's valuable. And right now, the components needed to build data centers are at the absolute top of their shopping list.
Right, the old way was your standard physical smash and grab. But the new way, it's entirely digital and heavily deceptive. These cartels are literally using generative AI to automate their phishing emails. They harvest legitimate carrier credentials, and they build these highly convincing spoofed digital profiles. So they bid on high-value loads, they win the freight using completely fake commercial driver's licenses, and then they just calmly redirect the shipment to their own warehouses. The craziest part? The actual driver pulling away from the dock often has absolutely zero idea they're participating in a massive heist.
Yeah, it's wild, and that brings us to a really spot-on quote from Keith Lewis over at Various CargoNet. He says, "The bad guys are good at marketing. They know what's hot and they know what's selling." To put that into real-world perspective, just look at a recent $1.3 million heist that happened near Chicago. These thieves didn't just grab random trailers. They specifically targeted one loaded with $300,000 worth of copper wire and another one carrying $1 million in data center infrastructure equipment. They know for a fact that the AI infrastructure rollout depends on an enormous volume of this specialized, highly valuable hardware.
All right, let's jump into Section 1. The risk scoring engine, or quantifying the threat.
So the big question is, how does the industry actually fight back against a threat that moves this fast and hides so well behind fake digital identities? Well, we are seeing the deployment of a really powerful new countermeasure. It's a centralized framework called the U.S. Cargo Theft Intelligence Agent Platform. Think of it as a digital shield. And the best part is, it starts working long before a truck ever backs into a loading dock.
Oh, for sure. Let's dive into this, because this is where the AI really shines. What we're looking at is the mathematical core of the AI agent. Before a shipment is even tendered to a carrier, the system calculates a multidimensional risk score, or RS. It's calculated as weight 1 times phi ID, plus weight 2 times gamma geo, plus weight 3 times omega value. Basically, this algorithm is processing millions of data points across multiple networks in a fraction of a second, completely stripping away the criminal's advantage of speed.
I know that formula sounds a bit like alphabet soup, but breaking the variables down makes it clear just how robust this system is. First, Phi ID represents identity and CDL verification. This system is continuously monitoring federal databases, flagging sudden address changes or weird IP locations. Then Gamma Geo analyzes the geographic and route threat, cross-referencing historical safety scores and actively known theft hotspots. And finally, Omega Val factors in the real-time value of the cargo based on current global black market rates.
And you know what's really fascinating? How this math actually adapts to real-world conditions on the fly. Because of the massive black market demand for copper, server racks, and AI components right now, the weight of the cargo value variable, that omega val, automatically expands. The AI recognizes that if you're shipping $300,000 of copper wire, your baseline risk is just exponentially higher. So the system automatically demands way stricter verification before that load is ever released.
Moving right along to Section 2, Computer Vision Gate Inspection, also known as the millisecond bouncer. But David, digital vetting beforehand is obviously great, but what actually happens at the physical gate? If a criminal somehow passes that digital check using stolen credentials, how do we stop the physical imposter from just driving away with the freight? That is exactly where the computer vision gate inspection comes in. Think of this as an automated, totally unbeatable millisecond bouncer stationed right at the loading dock. Using platforms like E3 Shield, the system performs a 3-step real-time check. Step 1, it visually scans the physical CDL and verifies the driver's domicile status. Step 2, it verifies the USDOT number instantly against federal registries. And Step 3, it actively analyzes the truck's logo and its physical markings.
Which really highlights the limitations of human dispatchers, right? I mean, a rushed, tired human employee can so easily miss a fake DOT number that's literally just taped to a door, or a magnetic logo slapped over a legitimate company's name. But this AI? It uses advanced optical character recognition and computer vision to catch those tiny graphical discrepancies in forged documents in literal milliseconds. It stops the fraud dead in its tracks, right at the point of pickup.
Which brings us to Section 3, ML Anomaly Detection, or Keeping Eyes on the Highway. Okay, so the cargo is verified, and it's out on the road. The next highly vulnerable phase is protecting that freight while it's actively in transit. This is where machine learning anomaly detection takes the wheel, basically keeping a constant, automated set of eyes on the highway. But to do this effectively, the AI has to know what normal actually looks like. Platforms in the space, like Project 44, use machine learning trained on a staggering 1.5 billion annual shipments. By ingesting all that data, the AI automatically establishes expected route baselines. So even if a predefined route was never entered, the system knows exactly where that truck should be, just based on historical lane data.
Which leads us to this incredibly rapid response timeline. In the past, a hijacked truck could be gone for hours before anyone even noticed it was missing. But now, at minute 0, the ML model detects a route deviation, or maybe unscheduled idling in a known high-risk theft zone. By minute 1, an autonomous AI agent is already reaching out to the carrier to verify their status. And by minute 2, if that contact comes back unverified, the threat is instantly escalated.
And let me tell you, that escalation protocol is completely ruthless and incredibly efficient. There is zero manual triaging, zero waiting around for human intervention. If that AI agent's call goes unverified, boom, it instantly pushes actionable alerts out to the shipper's dispatch teams, the State Highway Patrol, and the National Insurance Crime Bureau, or NICB. It provides them with exact, real-time coordinates, giving law enforcement the absolutely crucial window they need to recover the cargo before it vanishes into the black market.
This level of AI integration is an absolute game changer for law enforcement. During a recent congressional testimony regarding the new CORCA legislation, a prosecutor hit the nail on the head, stating, "Without a database, we are not going to be able to connect the dots." For years, cartels have just exploited jurisdictional silos. They'd steal in one state and sell in another. This AI agent platform perfectly solves that by automatically breaking down those silos, sharing threat intelligence seamlessly across federal, state, and private sectors.
And finally, Section 4, Data-Driven Immunity, the new paradigm. So as we wrap up this explainer, we really need to look at the overarching impact this technology is having on the entire logistics industry. We are witnessing a fundamental ground-up shift in how supply chains operate and defend themselves against these highly organized cartels.
Exactly. And the most crucial point to take away is this transition. We are completely moving away from reactive security, which, let's be honest, relied on slow manual checks, delayed local police reports, and incredibly fragmented data. We are moving toward data-driven immunity. By leveraging real-time AI risk scoring, millisecond computer vision gate checks, and automated escalation, the supply chain is essentially building its own digital immune system. It actively detects and fights off digital impersonators and physical thieves the exact moment they try to strike.
Which leaves us with this final, really important thought. The AI boom is completely transforming the world, but it entirely relies on very physical, incredibly expensive hardware moving across our highways every single day. As the value of copper, servers, and AI components continues to skyrocket, you better believe criminal cartels are watching. So with all these advanced AI tools now available, the big question every logistics leader has to ask himself is this: is your supply chain a fortress, or is it a target? Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer. We'll catch you next time.